Right, and hello and welcome. So, did a little test stream last night. That was the second race of the 2019 AK Racing V8 Supercar Championship from Oulton Park. But I thought had nothing better to do, so why not go out and do race one? So, just a little quick reminder of the circuit we're going around. This is the Oulton Park International layout. As you can see, 4.333 kilometers, 17 turns. This is the first of the two races of the round, both races being 26 laps. So the drivers are set on the grid. Let's just run through the grid order while we're here. And as you can see, Andrew O'Hara starting from pole position. And then we've got Hall in second place. James Delaney will be starting from third place on the grid. Scott Cortum, I'm being told that's how you pronounce his name, Cortum, not Cortum. He'll be starting in fourth place, and then we have, fifth place, Ross Macker in, we just do some quick maths, in fifth place. We've got Peter Reid in sixth, Johnny Eaton, seventh place, Josh Lynn in eighth, Keane Lucas in ninth place, followed by Jeff Hobson in 10th. Then on the sixth row, we've got Simon Phillips and Kay Keys. Then we have Greg Brock, followed by Tony French, Riley Gutterson, Anthony Kazana, followed by Brendan Cahill and Matthew Cotter. Behind him, got Jay Courtier and Keith Strintsos, followed by Brendan Beanlazy and Reese Holters. Behind them, they've got Scotty, Mercenary, followed by David Brisper, and Ash Webster starting at the back. And for whatever reason, he's got a big gap between his grid slot and David Brister's. Anyway, we're just about to get underway, and this will be race 1, round 15, the AK Racing V8 Supercar Championship. And away we go. No dramas this time out. O'Hara looks like he got a good solid start. But he's got Hall. It was challenging, but he's thrown wide, as has a number of the cars on the outside on the grass. There's a little bit of AstroTurf there, but a number of drivers gone past and beyond that bit of grasscrete. So O'Hara leads, followed by Delaney. Macca's had a pretty solid start. He's up to third place now, followed by Scott Cortum. We've got Johnny Eaton, Peter Reid, Josh Lynn, Keane Lucas, Simon Phillips, who's under attack from Greg Brock behind, and Hall's trying to recover after his poor start. He was starting on the second row, but they've run wide at turn 1 there, so that's why he's dropped back. And we've got Keys, he's got Jeff Hobson behind him, Matt Cotter, Riley Gutterson, Anthony Casana, Brendan Cahill, Jeff Courtier, Strinzos, Webster, who's had a pretty good start. He's up a couple spots. He started way at the back. And we've got Reese Halters. Tony French has had a bit of a mare. He's gone backwards while the guy started alongside him as well up the field. We've got Mercenary, Being Lazy, Scotty, and David Brister out at the back. Back at the front though, O'Hara, Delaney got a little bit of a gap over third and fourth, Ross Macker and Scott Cortum. And a little bit of a mistake there for Macker, and now both the Nissans are side by side. Looks like Macker just backing out of it and allowing Nissan counterpart Scott Cortum to get past him there. Up into third place. Behind him, Johnny Eaton's got a bit of an angry pack behind him. So it's Peter Reid, Josh Lynn, and Keane Lucas in the second Red Bull. Behind them, Simon Phillips not too far away. Bit of a gap to Keys. Just stick with this Johnny Eaton train for the moment. And Lynn sort of half having a look up the inside of Peter Reid, and also half defending from Keane Lucas behind. looking the quicker of the bunch at the moment is Josh Lynn. So it's currently parked up behind Peter Reid. Can't find a way past at the moment. Oh, and looks like Lynn a little bit wide there. Or perhaps just a good run from Lucas. Had a go up the inside, couldn't make it stick. And that's dropped Josh Lynn just behind a little bit. And giving Peter Reid just a little bit of breathing room. And he can now focus just a little bit more on the Nissan in front of him, as opposed to the gold and black ZB Commodore behind. Just run through the field just once again. Behind Phillips, Keys is starting to close in on that little paddle pack in front of him. He's got Greg Rock behind him. Matt Cotter not too far away, and neither is R. Hall, trying to recover after his poor start. Behind him, Jeff Hobson. He's got the second of the Monster Energy cars behind him. Bit of a gap to Anthony Cesano behind, who's got Brendan Cahill looking to make a move. Cahill gets it done. Doesn't run wide onto the grass, which it's very, very easy to do, as you saw the round, or from the second race that was put up last night. Nakasana under pressure from Courtier in behind. Industrial Athlete, I should say, Nissan Altima. Quite a number of different manufacturers in the field. Seems to be an even number of all the manufacturers, which is good to see. Behind them, Keith Strinsos out in his home. So a little bit of a gap over Tony French, who's looking to recover after Shardy's tardy start, being lazy. Ash Webster. Oh, as you see, Scotty off the road. There's Dean Pritchard through, and he's lost the rear end, and that's in the barrier, and he's stuck. So, unfortunately, that's just a bug of the track, and that's his day, or at least race one over by the looks of it, unfortunately. Up at the front, though, Andy O'Hara in the lead. He's stretching his legs just a little bit over James Delaney behind. 2.5, 3 seconds between the two. A little bit of a slide for Delaney coming into the chicane. Holds on. Scott Cortum to manage that gap between himself and Delaney. And Ross Macca sticking with him as well. So second, third, and there's Macca in fourth place. In fifth, Peter Reid is edged away. Keith Lucas. Johnny Eaton's lost that battle pack, so as we were looking at the other cars just a while ago, looks like a car drop off the road or something. Yeah, all these cars are a lot closer together just half a lap ago. Brock running wide there, and it's going to compromise him, and that allows Hall to continue his recovery drive. Let's back up another spot. So these guys now fairway behind Johnny Eaton. As I see, just cut back to Ian Lucas running it very wide there. Exit of turn 2. A bit of a lock up there. Peter Reid, Shell Oil's corner there. Didn't compromise him too much. Interesting to see now. Now Hall at times Hall can manage and see if he can close onto the back of this trio. And he did start on the second row of the grid. Oh, and Eaton's wide there on the grass, couldn't get the nose turned in, and that's going to drop him a couple of seconds down. Behind them, Brock under pressure from another different Nissan, and once again, a little bit of a slide on the exit there. And Key's having a look up the inside. I think he's just outbroke himself just a little bit, and he has out onto the kitty litter, and that allows Simon Phillips to go by and Rock to retake position. Behind them, Josh Lynn looking to make some headway, I should say. I do believe he was one of the cars that were in that battle pack, so perhaps he made a mistake. Behind them, Pisana is broken free, but he's got Courtier starting to close in on him. Jeff Hobson in Jim's Motorsport not too far behind him. Keith Strinsos has caught onto the back of that pack as well, as has Tony French, so those two on the move at the moment. So they've got a bit of work to do should they want to get deep into the top 10. Behind them, been lazy. He's been consistent last couple of laps. Hasn't got a dirty car, so he hasn't had an offer or anything. We'll be hoping that little battle pack in front of him just starts to battle just a little bit, so he can close in and hopefully nick a spot or two. They've got Cahill, a little bit of a lockup. Looked like he might have just understeered. Well, he's understeered wide in the second part there, and as has Ash Webster behind him. Webster in the wall there. Hopefully hasn't got too much damage, but it's going to drop him now to the back of the field. Well, not quite. Matt Cotter has dropped to the back of the field, so something we've not picked up, because Cotter was a number of spots higher, but he's not having a good race so far. Oh, and around goes Webster again, and unfortunately he's going to accelerate away, and Cotter's had nowhere to go. Thankfully it doesn't look like there's too much damage to either car, but that would have given Cotter a bit of a scare. And Scotty has managed to get going again after being wedged in the wall and doing a massive endo, so good to see that he's able to get going again. But he's got race leader Andy O'Hara closing in on him. O'Hara looks like he's stretched that gap out to second place. It's probably about 5 or 6 seconds now. And James Delaney, that gap to Corton behind, may have stretched it by half a second or a second, but hasn't changed all that much. In fact, Macca's actually probably just edged a little bit closer last time we saw him to Corton in front. Behind them, Peter Reid is now being harried by Keane Lucas. These two are on their own now, so there was 3 of them. Looks like Johnny Eaton and Johnny Eaton's made a slight mistake somewhere and dropped a little bit off the back of these two. In fact, we're right on board Keane Lucas. See how he attacks Oulton Park International Circuit. See, with the bumps, a lot of wheel work. Oh, and he's used a little bit too much of the track, and he's got his outside tyres on the grass, and around he goes in the kitty litter. Able to get it out, but he's ceded positions to Johnny Eaton. Yeah, conceded positions to Johnny Eaton and R. Hall there, and now he's got Greg Brock right in his slipstream. Brock trying to get a little bit of slipstream, and off goes Lucas again. Couldn't get the nose in, and off into the boonies he goes. Doesn't hit the wall, but once again drops another couple spots. A disastrous lap for Lucas. And Josh Lynn, so cuts him He's now onto the back of that little battle pack. And Simon Phillips, he's got past. Simon Phillips has got past Keys. Last time we saw them, the other way around. Josh Lynn was a fair way away, so quite a lot has changed in the last lap and a half or so. Battles at the front, at least in the first couple positions, fairly solid at the moment. But then we've got the two Nissans of Oulton and Macca. They're fairly close together in third and fourth positions, and in fifth got Peter Reid. He's out on his own at the moment, so he'll be hoping to string a few laps together to string a few decent laps together and hopefully close in on the distance in front. But he's looking at a lonely race at the moment. Behind them, Johnny Eaton, he's got Arhall all over the back of him there. Or recovering from that. I think he rammed wide in the exit of turn 1, and that dropped him down quite a number of spots. Right on board. Paul. So he applies to the pressure. Fellow Nissan in front. See a lot of skid marks on the road from drivers, just locking their unloaded tyres into a lot of these corners. With a bump into this next braking zone here, raises the front tyres a bit, and we see a number of lockups there. So solid lap that time out. It eased away in the second half of that lap. Plenty of racing to be done. So Hall will, you would think, get a chance to make a move at some point. As you can see right there, Hall much better under braking. They're coming up to some lap traffic. Hopefully the traffic gets out of the way. It's Brendan B. Lazy. Lazy getting out of the way, so smart driving, lap traffic, doesn't hold either of them up. You can see Peter Reid up the road there, his FGX Falcon. And a much better exit there for Eaton out of Knickerbrook. Able to stretch that gap out just a little bit, give himself some breathing room. Right on the edge of the curve there. Any further over, and would have been a little bit of incident as his rear tyres probably would have let go just a little bit. Right on the limit. And so these guys a little way off Peter Reid, coming up to Scotty. And we've got still Macca and Cordham. Gap maintained pretty much the same amount we saw from what it was when we last saw them. Delaney looks like he's just edging away a little bit, as is O'Hara from the rest of the field. Right, so behind them, Josh Lynn has got past Simon Phillips and Keys. So we see Keys and Phillips duking it out to the Shell Oils hairpin. A little bit of a lock-up for Phillips behind, but he's able to pull it up and not spear to the back. The Nissan Altima in front. Behind them, Keen Lucas trying to recover after his eventful lap a couple laps ago. As you can see with the dust and dirt all over the front of that ZB Commodore. Behind them, Gribbrock has made a mistake because he was in front of that little group. And as you can see, his Ultimate nice and dirty now at the front and each side and the back as well. So Ultimate been doing some rallycross. That said though, he's not too far off that group in front of him, so put some decent laps together. Still is a chance of picking up a spot or two. Behind them, Jeff Hobson, Anthony Casana battling it out. I believe Casana has lost out to Hobson. Hobson was, I believe, behind him, or it was at some point. But not much separating these two at the moment. Behind them, Courtier. Too far away. Strinsos as well. And Tony French, he's dropped off the back of Strinsos, so and it looks like he's got a bit more dirt on his over 1 ZB Commodore. So it looks like he's had it off somewhere that we've not picked up. Behind them, Brendan Cahill, Riley Guttison duking it out. Guttison going for the move. No, just shows the nose, decides better of it. It's a tricky braking zone when you're just racing on your own, so trying to make a pass there makes it doubly difficult. Once again, just showing the nose, trying to distract the car in front. Trying to put Cahill under pressure and force a mistake from him. See a bit of dirt on the rear wing of Cahill's ZB Commodore, so he's had an off of his own. As you can see, Guttison using a bit of the grass through that left-hand kink and then a little bit of a lock-up to Shell Oil's corner, so he's pushing as hard as he can. But those little mistakes probably costing him a chance at making a move, and again all over the curb, out sideways, able to save it, but I don't think his rear tyres would like that too much, and it's certainly not helping his chances of trying to get past Cahill in front. But Cahill, a little bit of a lock-up at turn 10. Guttison wide and Cahill sliding, so these two, both of them making these little micro mistakes, which are giving each other little advantages and disadvantages. So Guttison closer than he was last time through here. Showing his nose once again, but too far back to make a move. Slams down the brakes. Using all the road. But hasn't had as good as an exit as Cahill. There's a shallower turn-in point for turn 1 as Guttison because he took the same line last time out, as did Cahill. Much shallower. So turn 2 there. So we'll just skip ahead, see what's going on. Tony French closing in on Strinsos. Cordier still out in his zone a little bit. Susana all over the back of Simon Phillips now. So Simon Phillips has either dropped, I think he's dropped back, because I think he was in front of Kazana and Hobson, who Hobson was in front of Kazana just a little while ago, and it was much closer. So Simon Phillips has dropped down the field, or perhaps made a pit stop. Greg Brock a lot closer to Keen Lucas, so I think Brock may have made another mistake. Unfortunately, I don't have the live timing to be able to back that up, but he might have made a mistake and found his way either behind Lucas. As we see, that's Scotty in the pits. But yeah, I think Lucas also in the pits, so perhaps a pit stop. Perhaps Brock made a pit stop because he was in front of him at some point a couple of laps ago. Keys coming across being lazy, and David Brister, so hopefully they get out of the way and don't cost him too much time. Now we've got Josh Lynn out on his own. So he's been showing some decent pace throughout this race and has fought back nicely. Johnny Eaton is now right behind Scott Cortum. So with that, perhaps Cortum has pitted because he hasn't got any dirt on his car, so we've seen other cars have when they've gone off. He have seen drivers in the last couple of laps enter the pit lane, so perhaps he's pitted, and that's why he is where he is there, because he was well in front of Johnny Eaton and Paul. In front of them, Peter Reid. Using all the track and a little bit more. He's pushing as hard as he can. And he's behind Ross Macca. Yeah, so going by that gap between Macca, who was behind Cortum, it would be either a spin or a pit stop. And I'd say it'd probably be the latter. Oh, as we see, that's Cahill off the road. And his car looks a little bit dirtier than when we last saw it as well. So when we saw him a lap ago, he was battling. Looks like he's made a mistake, and a couple of mistakes now. Has dropped him out of that little battle pack. Delaney now, he's stretched away from Ross Macca. And Delaney coming up to some more lap traffic in Cotto and Mercenary. O'Hara continues just to edge away from the other 888 ZB Delaney. Flawless drive so far from pole position, as we see. It's like Mercenary off at turn 15. Almost gassing it up and sticking it straight into the barrier immediately afterwards, but avoids that thankfully. It'll be interesting actually to see if Mercenary goes in the pits after that. Yep, in he comes. Ooh, as I've seen Matt Cotter off the road, but that doesn't hold up James Delaney, who's coming around to lap him, thankfully. And we can see Peter Reid also in the pit, so actually we'll stick with him. We'll see where he ends up. Because there is Cortum, who has... Yeah, so Cortum must have pitted, and that's why you ended up behind Peter Reid. Cortum, he's got Mercenaries just exited the pits in front of him. Hopefully Mercenary gets out of the way. Yeah, gives him room, and no one lost time there, so good driving from the both of them. Peter Reid now exiting the pits, so he's a little bit behind Johnny Eaton, but I do believe Johnny Eaton has to pit. Behind them, Greg Brock is a fair distance off, so Brock was with Eaton earlier on in the race, but I think a couple errors and possibly a pit stop is why he's so far behind him at the moment. Strinsos has moved up, so don't believe Strinsos has pitted. Lucas has. We did see that a couple of laps ago. Right on board. Lucas battles with Strinsos. He's going to try and risk a pass into the high-speed kink. Gets the job done. Strinsos gives him space, backs out of it. He's in a different race, so smartly gets out of the way, or doesn't make it too difficult and cost himself time. That's allowed Keys goes right onto the back of Strinsos. Strinsos now got the headlights ablaze. Ooh, and a bit of a slide into turn 9 there. Was able to hold it. Now Keys right behind him. He's got the better run out of Knickerbrook. And in fact, Strinsos getting out of the way. So he's in a different race. I don't believe Strinsos has been lapped, but he hasn't pitted while these guys in front of him, they've just passed him, have. So he's just racing his own race, and Josh Lynn, he's not too far behind Lucas now, or Keys. And he's got ahead of Kazana and Phillips. Behind them, Riley Guttison. Starting to close in on Simon Phillips. I don't know if Phillips has pitted, but those two separated by a fair margin earlier on. But that gap is a lot closer now. Behind him, Tony French is trying to recover, because he was battling with Simon Phillips earlier on. Behind him, Courtier and Hobson. Got Matt Carter on the grass. Great big slide. Same for Macca. So he's still pushing hard. And it looks like O'Hara's pitted because Macca is in front of him, and Macca was running in the top 4. And with no dirt or damage on his car, that would mean that he's not pitted. So O'Hara effectively in the race lead at the moment. Behind him, effectively 4th position, James Delaney. So he's pushing hard. Bit of a lock-up entrance to Shell Oil's corner. Scott Cortum's actually made up a little bit of ground in the pit stop sequence. Because that gap was a bit more than that last time we checked it out. So Cortum, nice job in the pit stops and a nice job getting past traffic. So he's closed that gap up a little bit, but it still is a fairly significant gap. Behind them, Hall has made his way past Peter Reid, so Hall continues his recovery drive. Did start in 4th place, but went off the road at turn 1, and that dropped him down the field. So I'm not sure if he's stopped yet, so we might see him jump in the pits in the next lap or two if he hasn't, and he'll obviously drop down a couple spots. He's got Peter Reid right behind him. His mercenary lap down, then Johnny Eaton. So they're in front of Johnny Eaton now. Then we've got Keen Lucas. He's out on his own at the moment. David Risser's lap down behind him. And now we've got Jocelyn has closed up onto... Well, I did think Jocelyn actually was in front of Strinsos, I do believe. I thought so. Anyway, unfortunately don't have the live time to help me out on that one, but it's behind him now anyway. Just having a look. And it forces Strinsos just to run a little bit wide. In the end, cost them both a little bit of time there. And having a look up the inside, final corner at Lodge. It's not close enough to make the move. Behind them, Kasana Phillips continue to duke it out. Having a look up the inside, not quite close enough again. Oh, he's got a big slide on out of turn 1. He's on the grass. He's avoided the wall though, so a bit of lucky driving. Able to save the slide in the nick of time. As you see, Brister off on the grass on the outside. Lynn's had a good run though, out of turn 2. He's going to try and make the move stick through the kink. Strinsos lets him go. And now he's free to chase down Keys. And looks like Hall just edging away from Peter Reid at the moment. And there's Macca in the pits. And he's not lost too much time to Phil Nissen either. It's probably around about the same. That's Cahill off the road there, just missed it. So you're cycling through. It's a little mistake from him. It's a gap probably about 4 or 5 seconds between Cortum and Delaney. Looks like last couple of laps Delaney's just edged away. A bit of clear. Oh, but he's kicked the back out over the curb there at the chicane. Able to save it, but his lap time on his rear tyres won't like that too much. A little bit of a gap between himself and O'Hara in front. O'Hara has now got a lap car between himself and second place. And then Cortum in third, Macca fourth. Cahill is a lap down. Then we've got Hall in 5th place, Peter Reid in 6th, Johnny Eaton in 7th. Mercenary is a lap down, as is Bean Lazy. it's 8th or 9th there for Lucas. And I'll just guess that guess that it's 10th place for Keys. 11th Lynn. 12th Chisana. 12th Phillips. Scotty's a lap down. 13th for Brock. 14th French. 15th Strintos. Brister is a lap down. And then 15th Hobson. 16th Courtier. Now 17th Guttison. And then back to the leader. And 18th must be Matt Cotter. Go through the runners again. So I'm just trying to find a nice little battle pack. So at the moment, Hall is on a charge at the moment. He's just streaking away, I should say, Peter Reid at the moment. But I'm not sure if Hall has stopped. But this late in the race, I probably would hazard a guess that he has. So he's driving well at the moment. Unfortunately for him, he's just running out of time to catch up to Ross Macker in front of him. Bit of field spread at the moment. Not too many battles for position, although Osana and Phillips, they've been battling away pretty much the entire race. Every time we've gone through, these two have not been more than a second and a half apart. Bit of a lock up there. Phillips, turn 5. Very easy to do, unweighted. And with the way the camber works on that corner as well, even more so. But it looks like Hassan just eking away a little bit at the moment. And Phillips, another little mistake, almost slides into the barrier. I've seen one car in that little tyre bundle. Middle of that chicane at turn 10. So narrowly avoids it this time. Hasn't dropped too much time, but it's been a scruffy lap for Phillips this time out. I'll be hoping just to be nice and clean. But once again, another lock up. Runs just a little bit wide. Just costing him a chance of getting right on the back of Hisana again. And another lock up. So he's really struggling at the moment. Perhaps getting a little bit tired, or that focus just waning just a little bit. Or perhaps his tyres just going off a little bit, or even a combination of all of them. But yeah, that one, very, very scruffy. Simon Phillips. That's allowed Anthony Crisana just to push away. Further up the field. Ross Macker, Scott Corton now. Closest battle on track. There's nothing much between these two at the moment. Back will stay with Ross Macker. Since the pit stops, looks like he's been just that little bit faster than the fella Nissan. It's enabled him to close right onto the back of the Ultimate. A little bit more curve, turn 4. Much better under braking. Shell Oil's corner. Understeered, a little bit of run wide there. It caught him in front. It's allowed Macker to close him. He's not close enough to make a move. Shows his nose though, trying to distract the Nissan driver. Caught him much faster through Nickelbrook there. He's able to get himself to relative safety. In one of the Shell Falcons. got it getting out of the way. It's not going to interrupt this battle. The final podium spot. Delaney and O'Hara, that gap fairly sizable now. Skull back through. There's Kortum Maka. Behind them, there's Hall still going, so he must have pitted. And he's eking, he's streaking away from Peter Reid, but he's not going to catch that battle in front of him, barring a safety car or some kind of catastrophic mistake. And Johnny Eaton, he's out on his own at the moment. He's got a bit of a gap to Keen Lucas behind. And he's got a fairly sizable gap to Keys behind him. And Keys has got lap traffic in between himself and Josh Lynn. Chisano, he's sort of maintained that little gap he built a couple of laps ago with Phillips' little mistakes. Behind them, they've got Brock closing in. So Brock must have made a mistake, because earlier in the race, he was running fairly high up. He was in front of these guys, but he's now dropped behind them. And it looks like he's slowly closing in onto the back of Phillips. And O'Hara scything his way through lap traffic. Sticking with this battle between Kortum and Maka. Got a couple laps to go. So it's really now or never if Maka wants to end up on the podium. There's a bit of lap traffic around that they will catch, so maybe be hoping to use one of them as a pick to get onto that final step of the podium. So he hasn't got much time to make a move though. Right on board the Ultimate driver. As you can see, he probably could squeeze a couple more sponsors onto his dash there. In fact, he probably should chuck a couple onto the windscreen as well. Ricky Bobby, if he really wants to capitalise on sponsorship deals. And once again, Oulton very, very good. So 9, 10, 11 there. That little chicane, and he's able to stretch out just a little bit, give himself breathing room, which is vital because final corner here probably is the best overtaking place. That and turns 4 or 5. If you get a good run out of Nickerbrook there, it does, barring a mistake the next corner, it does set you up for the rest of the lap. That said though, not a good run for Kortum through turn 1, and that's given Maka a little bit of encouragement to get a move on. Hit the hands there. Maka is trying to hustle that distance. Kortum doing a good job holding on for now. See a car off. Ooh, and Maka wide there, just gasses it while he's on the grass there, gets the rear end out a little bit, and that's probably cost him really. I think that's Guttison who made that mistake, and thankfully gets out of the way. Let's hold Kortum up. But I think that might, yeah, this is the final lap, so I think that's going to kill that battle off. So Andy O'Hara takes race 1 at Oulton Park. James Delaney, solid race for both the first two, but O'Hara just too good in the end. Behind them, Kortum will hold on for 3rd place. Ross Maka will finish 4th. And then got Matt Cotter, Gunnison both a lap down. And in 5th place will be Hall, so he was right. Behind Hall, Peter Reid will finish in 6th place. And we've got Cahill a lap down, Scotty a lap down. Behind him, Keen Lucas and Eaton battling it out. He's 4th position. So having a look up the inside, but not going to be close enough, and Lucas will hold on. Followed by Johnny Eaton. Behind them, Josh Lynn out on his own. He's not had the greatest of races. Shown some decent pace, but whenever he looks like he's going to recover, he seems to make a mistake and drop down through the field. He finishes out on his own. Oh, and a bit of contact between Mercenary and Phillips, or perhaps just a mistake from Anthony Casina, and well, he'll get over the line, but won't be too pleased in finishing like that. Behind him, being lazy, a lap down, and that is the end of that. Alright lads, well, that was race 1 from Oulton Park. Hopefully everything on the stream come through loud and clear. I've been having some issues today with my sound, but yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the stream, and also not as entertaining as race 2, but hopefully next season it's just as entertaining, if not more than what race 2 was from Oulton Park. Anyway, from Lewis Wedding here, have a good one.